Sandra.
Hi, I'm Carrie.
And we are the
Screaming Divas.
So, Carrie, who are we interviewing today?
Oh my gosh, so excited. Scott Davies.
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera, amazing.
2,500 performances of Phantom of the Opera.
Oh my gosh, married to his beautiful, amazing wife, Lucy, raising 3 boys
Based in London.
Yes. And he's an amazing, not only amazing Broadway superstar, but an opera singer as well. And that's how I met him.
Now, did you sing Phantom just in London or all around the world?
I did it in London, and then on the United Kingdom tour, and then back into London again.
Okay.
And I've kind of been in and out of the show last 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. So it's kind of been part of big part of my career, really. But I mean, I loved it. I mean, it was great. I mean, it's a great, you know what it's like to take the last curtain call. There's nothing better than it. So it's like, it was my kind of buzz, you know.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Hello, people, and click the bell. Scott.
Hey, you're gonna Screaming Divas. Hello.
Hey. Oh my God! Hey!
Cheers to you.
Cheers to
Tonicking.
you.
Are you?
Cheers to you.
Gin tonicking?
Gin and tonicking. Are you gin and tonicking?
Yes, sir. It's pink gin.
This is orange gin.
Nice.
What time? At what time are you drinking gin?
1 o'clock. Why are you judging me?
Day drinking. It's a thing.
This is 7 o'clock down here, so we're all right. We're fine. Oh my.
It's time. Scott, I'd love to introduce you to Sandra. Sandra, Scott.
Sandra, cheers, Sandra.
Cheers.
How are you?
You know what? Surviving. Is that the word? Yeah.
Oh, you're telling me. Just. By God. I've just come back from a run. I'm sorry, I'm a bit hot. I went for a run this afternoon. I got back about 20 minutes ago, so and I've had a shower.
Yeah, you smell good. You smell good. Oh dear, I already love you, and
you're a lovely girl. And I love you too. Even though you drink pink gin, whatever that is. What's that pink gin? I want to know.
Okay, it's from the land of England, and it's called Victoria Pink Gin.
Oh my God, is it good?
It's delicious. And it went
to
the top, so why not?
Oh my God, is that where you are? Canada?
Yes.
Oh my God, how fantastic.
Outside of Toronto.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, wonderful. But you know, it's amazing. Where are you, Kerry? I'm sorry, but where are you just now, Kerry? I'm sorry.
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
All right. Okay. So how many hours behind me are you, Kerry? Sorry.
I'm 6 hours and Sandra's 5.
All right. Easy.
And you are in
London and a place called Chislehurst.
Oh.
Can't really see it. It's quite. The sun's going down now, so it's quite. Hold on, I'm going to show you my gin.
Ooh.
Yes.
Important things in life, right?
Absolutely. Do you know what? Since this lockdown, I can't tell you how important this has become to my living.
Thank you.
Ooh, I haven't tried that.
Delicious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hallelujah.
Fantastic.
Hallelujah.
Absolutely fantastic. And I felt guilty starting my gin drinking at 6 o'clock tonight. I don't feel so bad with you girls. In fact, I feel bloody marvelous.
Exit. Stage left. So now, how do you two know each other? I know, then we should talk about who you are and what you do and how you know Carrie.
Yeah. Do you want to tell
Who's starting?
Me?
No, you tell it. You're gorgeous. Go on.
Gold.
Like the blonde hair. I love the blonde hair, by the way.
That's right.
just
You
to let
haven't
know.
seen it, right? You haven't seen the crazy blonde since
No, I
together.
no.
Isn't she high?
Kind of.
Okay, so I came over to ENO to sing Tosca in English, and guess who I met? I met like the most amazing human being on the planet, Julie, who, when I found out, has sung over, I don't know, how many is it now? Over 2,000, over 3,000 performances of Phantom?
Do you know what? I think it turned out to be about, because they miscounted it. It was 2,500 times.
Holy shamoly.
I know, and I still got it wrong.
Holy Phantom.
So when I found that out, I totally fangirl freaked out, because Phantom is what made me really interested in musical theater and in singing, opera. And then you took me backstage for a tour. I watched you perform. I made you sign all kinds of crazy crap. And I did. And then I just adore you. So I really wanted to talk to you, because we wanted not only to talk about your career, but talk about what's happened since COVID and how that's affected your life. And
bugger all.
Well, did you do? I'm gonna skip over that, because we have a drinking game. When we swear on this, we got to drink. So I don't know if bugger all. All right, there you go. Cheers. But now, did you sing Phantom just in London or all around the world?
I did it in London, and then on the United Kingdom tour, and then back into London again.
Okay.
And I've kind of been in and out of the show last 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. So it's kind of been part of big part of my career, really. But I mean, I loved it. I mean, it was great. I mean, it's a great, you know what it's like to take the last curtain call. There's nothing better than it. So it's like, it was my kind of buzz, and I did it, as I said, 2,500 times. Sometimes it felt as if it was about 5,000 times, as you probably know.
Oh.
So, but
you want to keep the vocal cord on your shelf, right?
Oh my God! You think, how am I? Maybe on a Tuesday night, you kind of go, oh my God, I've got 6 more shows to go. All right, okay. Oh, and somehow you find your way through it, and it's just a bit sluggish. But then you've only got one day to get ready again for the following week. So it's kind of relentless.
Yeah,
and it's like a big show. Phantom is a big show for you.
I think it's a big show because people come to see the Phantom. They come to, I mean, even though the show's fantastic, and the other singers were gorgeous and brilliant, but they come basically see the where is he going to be, what's he going to do, I mean, that's what they come to see. They want to be moved by him at the end. If you don't have that sort of feeling at the end, you've kind of failed. So the pressure's on you to come up with that kind of momentum every night. And sometimes it's quite tough, as sometimes you go on stage and you go, I'm not quite right tonight, but you find your way getting through it, so I did 2,500 times.
That's amazing. They need to give you an award or something. I have an award.
Oh, please.
So were you singing Phantom when COVID hit and they shut the theaters down?
Yeah, I closed the show. And you know what? The funny thing is, we kind of heard that we were going to come to an end. We didn't hear that we were coming to an end. We heard that we could be closing for a while. Okay. And on the Saturday night, I felt quite tired, and I said to the makeup girl and to the dressers and everything, says, do you know what? I'm actually quite looking forward to having a couple of weeks off. And they're all going, yes, to a couple of weeks off. Never realized that this whole shebang would just go.
Okay, so tell me about. I saw one of your Facebook posts, because yes, I follow you. Super fan. I saw one of your Facebook. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I saw one of your Facebook posts about having to go clear out your dressing room from.
Oh my God! Well, do you know what the funny thing was? 10 years ago, I was phoned up by Cameron McIntosh to come back and do Phantom, and I said, no, my kids are still young. I would prefer to come back as what I'm doing, just doing a few shows a week, whatever it was in those days. And I thought I'll only do a year. I only want to stay 1 year because the last time I did it, I just got basically vocally fatigued, and because I played it for about 4.5 years on the trot, and I just suddenly thought, do you know what? I'm kind of I'll do the 1 year and leave. And 9 years later, I was still there. So I had 9 years of toot in my room, and I just went in, and the whole place was completely different because there was no cast, there was no crew, there was no musicians, there was no front of house, and you just walk into this dead kind of theatre, which was, I have never ever seen the theatre like that before in my life. And they were ripping the stage out, they were ripping all the seating out, the auditorium. So it was, and then having to actually leave it for the final time was a bit heart-wrenching, actually, to be quite honest. I didn't think it would affect me that badly, but as I'm going home on the train, I felt really quite sad and lonely.
Sure, I can't imagine.
But I got the gin, and then I was fine again. So
we interviewed the head of Chicago Lyric Opera, and he showed us photos. They were in the process of opening a whole new ring cycle, and
oh my God.
He got these photos from inside the theater of how they abandoned the stage, and it was just eerie. It's just a weird thing because stages, people out there don't always know this, but there's always somebody doing something in the theater.
Oh, absolutely, doing something, and you go in there and you think, where's the life gone? It just felt as if it was enclosing on you, going, oh. What's happened to this wonderful hubbub of activity, fun, great talent in and out the stage door, and then suddenly it's like, but it will reopen, and it will be just as good as what it was before. And this is what we have to deal with. God knows when. I mean, what's it like over there just now? Is it just as bad over here as over here?
Yeah. So tell me this. I mean, are they? Oh yeah, it's a hot dang mess, people in America, and I don't care who hears me say that. It is a hot mess. So tell me, it's a hot mess over there too. So tell me, how are they talking about opening up the theaters again? Are they in discussions about that yet?
Well, I think Cameron McIntosh took it upon himself to close the show completely. Mm-hmm. So he could redo it, the whole theatre, not just the stage. Redo the whole thing, new seating, new. Everything's going to be brand new again, but in the traditional theatre, in West End theatre style. So I'm sure it'll be very tastefully done. But I mean, how long does that take? Does that take a year? Because when Hamilton opened, it had about a year and a half, almost 2 years of work to put into the Victoria Palace, which is a theatre about a mile away from Her Majesty's, and it was a long time before it opened. So they said that they wanted it opened in March.
Okay.
I doubt it will be opened in March. I mean, to be quite honest, yeah. I very much doubt it. I mean, I can't see it. Maybe if they're lucky, autumn. A year's time. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's a massive job. I think he's going to rewire it, redo it to make it absolutely today's theatre. Instead of a theatre that was built, 100 odd years ago, whatever it was.
Right.
Well, and that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Some theaters are great doing these transformations, but then what is it? The South Bank Theatre there in London?
Yeah.
It's on the brink of financial ruin, right?
Oh, I think so. I think the Royal Albert Hall was shouting a few weeks ago that they, if they don't get a certain amount of money, they will close. Can you imagine these wonderful institutions of performing at wonderful venues gone? No. But I don't know. I mean, I think they'll find the money somewhere, and the government will give some money towards it. They can't let this go. They can't, because that's why tourists come here.
Right.
And if without tourists, who knows? I mean, that's another thing, isn't it? If they open in March, who's going to be coming to London in March? Who's going to be taking the first steps? It's going to take time to build it up. Now, whether they do 8 performances a week again, which would be quite good not to do it.
Do you want to go back? Do you want to go back to the theater?
Yes. I'd love to, given the chance. But we were all made redundant. The whole cast and the crew and the musicians. We all had a Zoom meeting like this. There's 180 of us on the Zoom, and you're all very excited. You knew that Mary Poppins, Les Mis, and Hamilton had the meetings the day before.
Okay.
And we were on the Tuesday, and then we were at 11 o'clock or whatever it was, and we knew that through the grapevine that they were told that they were going to come back in March. And then we came on the Tuesday, and they said, we're closing it completely. We thought we were safe. We thought there's that little candle right in the distance there, but we will be safe because everybody wants to come and see Phantom. And then suddenly, no, yeah. I mean, it was a big shock. And then suddenly you saw 180 people just kind of going, zoom, black. Oh yeah, they'd heard enough. They knew exactly what was happening. So we just decided to terminate the conversation and think, what the hell are we going to do?
Have you had any financial support at all? Has the government or?
Well, the government came in with self-employment, and most people in the company got help from the government. I got nothing because I'm supposed to have earned too much, but God knows where that's gone. My three children.
Yes. Uh-oh. Sorry, kids. Dad loves you.
So redundant. They give you a redundancy package, and because I was there 10 years, it was a nice little added bonus just to get through it. But we have do they have it over there called furlough? Is that what they call it over there?
Call it furlough.
Yeah. So some people have been furloughed, and it was a shock to know that you wouldn't get any help. I'm just one of the few people that have kind of slipped through the net.
Right.
But at the moment, I'm all right.
Opera singers that were in that same loophole that you were in, that somehow whatever the numbers were what the cutoff was, ended up with nothing. Ended up with no.
Oh yeah.
No, and now we're in this. How many months are we in this? 5 months? I mean.
I think we finished on the 14th of March. So that March, April, May, June, July, August. Yes. So we're probably about 5.5 months. So were you behind us then? Are you?
No, it was the same. I was sent home.
Same.
On the March 11th, I think, when I was sent home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were right before me. You had a show on the 10th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you keep singing now? Are you singing during this whole?
Yeah. I think I probably go and do something about 4 to 5 times a week, depending on the weather. If it's nice drinking weather, not much singing.
I love it.
Do you know what I mean? It's kind of.
And that bottle looks slightly empty.
Do you know that's my wife?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Lucy. I love it. You're an avid exerciser. So have you still been doing, a lot of us through COVID have, put on the COVID pounds because now
we're you look great, girls. Jesus Christ. I've kind of I do I've got this little app, and it tells me each month how much I've done. Okay. And I think I did about 124 days of exercise every day. Something. Either I did running, or I did boot camp, or I did cycling, or I did skipping, or I did it is for an hour and a half every day. And I lost about a stone. 1 stone, 2 pounds, which is what's that in America? Is that about 16 pounds?
It's a stone, 12 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah. About 60. So I lost it. And do you know what the thing was? I was really looking forward to going back into my Phantom suit, because it was probably the first time I was going to be able to fit into it for a long time. Gone to waste.
Oh. Well, hey, keep it up.
I know. I know. Yes, that's it. How about you girls? Do you keep exercising, or are you just drinking, girls? I don't know.
No, I'm exercising, but I'm not moving as much as I used to move. And so the problem is that the exercise is just like burning this off, not really burning off anything else.
But Carrie's in a small apartment, but Carrie is moving to a bigger house in the country, and I am sure when Carrie moves next week that she's going to be moving a lot more.
Yeah.
Do you do much singing?
I started 2 weeks ago, just warming back up again, just getting the voice back in shape. And so I'm probably will keep doing that for another 2 weeks before I actually pick up a piece of music. So it's slowly working those muscles back into shape again. So
I know it's a bit of a shock.
Yes. Okay.
But I think that because we are professionals and because we are so highly tuned and finely tuned. I think muscle memory really kicks in when we.
I think you're right. I think I find it with myself that if I don't sing for about, well, mind you, I haven't really given it a rest, to be quite honest. I've done something quite a lot during the week, and I just do vocalize, maybe only be 25, 30 minutes, whatever it is, a short day. And I find that if I didn't do anything for about 2 or 3 weeks, I get holiday throat. Do you get holiday throat? Where you feel it just disappears.
Okay.
It disappears.
I get the opposite, but I don't know. When I don't sing for 2 weeks, my voice feels like, wow, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But
getting back.
Everybody's different. And if you know what your voice does when you don't sing, I think that's a real big bonus. And
oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, I used to love holidays, but I used to love coming back on the first or second night. And then the third night I'd go, I know I've worked it again, It's just not been used to that being on the treadmill, on that kind of rat wheel.
Yeah. But Phantom is a real physical show.
Well, yes, it's a physical show. It's an emotional show. It's a show with a lot of acting in it, and it's got a lot of screaming in it. And you've really got to know what you're doing screaming wise. And if you don't do it, there's been so many phantoms in the past that come in, and as soon as you hear them, you go 6 weeks down the line, and then they have trouble with. They're probably off maybe a month. They go and see specialists, and they come back, and it's never quite the same, because they've given, they've really gone for it. And there's a way of doing it, So I have to be. I'm very careful with it, very, very careful, because I know I respect the part, and I know what damage it can be done. Because I've known it for 20 odd years,
Which speaks to your technique too. I mean, because there's not that. I mean, honestly, how many men can say that about Phantom? I mean, that's huge.
And how many of the Phantoms have been operatically trained?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you know what? It's a fun thing, because when you hear the ones from years and years and years ago, and they're not trained, and they sing everything open, and now this kind of big kind of friendly waving voice at you. Do you know what I mean? So and as soon as and also in musical theatre, the idea is just to keep on going, even if you're tired, you keep going, and your voice tires until it goes, I can't take any more. But some singers, musical theatre singers, carry on doing it. They don't really understand to look after it, what the warning signs are. Do you know what I mean? And it's I've been through it years ago. So as soon as something happens, I go, so I have to take care of it.
Yeah. Okay. I was curious how you thought, if you thought differently about the voice when you're on the operatic stage versus the Broadway stage.
Oh, huge! Oh my God! You've got to sing to the end of the phrase. You've got in musical theatre, you can come off the notes, and the microphone's there, and you can just go, all right, I'm feeling a bit tired tonight, so I'll almost not crooning. You still have to give a certain amount, a certain percentage. I always think that to be an opera singer, you you know, it's almost as if you're using 70% and you still got that amount to use. Whereas musical theatre, they're giving 100%, and it's like it's too much every night. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And it sounds like it. Oftentimes,
Hey,
I walk out of musical theater, and
hey,
my husband and I just go like,
hey.
okay,
Oh,
vocal cords back down.
yeah.
It's empathetic, you know. You're just like, oh god.
I think it lasts for a certain amount of time, and I think you have a cut-off time, and I think you have a lifetime, an amount of singing you can do with musical theatre singing, and then it starts to wane a bit. And if you don't look after it, I mean, I still go to lessons, and I still,
I was
I haven't been,
yeah.
I haven't been for about 6 months,
Funny
no,
how
8
that
months.
is.
So no, we just gently puts it back into shape, you know. And he says that's where it should be. I went, great. And yeah, you're beginning to do this, and you begin to go you know, and it's all nicely contained instead of extremes. And that's what Phantom does to your voice. I mean, I suppose that's what musical theatre does to you. I mean, it's the extreme. I don't think Andrew Lloyd Webber writes very well for the voice.
Really? Okay.
It's right down there, and it's right out there, you know. So it's at the extremes all the time. Very little in the middle. So it's kind of it's a dangerous kind of profession if you don't know what you're doing with your voice. So I mean, luckily, I mean, I've had a career, you know, for going in, you know, doing musical theatre and lasting. Thank God. Thank you. Yeah. So.
Okay, so I read, and we never talked about this, which I'm very sad that we didn't have drinks and talking about this conversation, but I read that you sang not only for the Queen, but you sang on the Three Tenors concert. How did all of that happen?
Yes.
Spill the beans.
Oh my God, they were fantastic. Oh my God.
Both experiences?
Do you know what? When you're a student, as you know, and you have a hero or a heroine or whatever, you just go, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And I remember in the 70s, I had well, in the 70s I was only a young teenager, and I heard Pavarotti's voice, and I just thought, oh my God, that is just amazing. The most beautiful, perfect voice.
Yeah.
And it kind of inspired you to try and emulate this. Christ. And when you actually met him and did things, it was he and all three of them. Well, I think we kind of got drunk afterwards all together. So it was.
How was it? What'd you do? How
it was in Bath. It was in Bath.
Oh.
And they did. Have you ever been to Bath?
Yes, I've been to the spas there. Yeah.
That's it. Is that the spa? The
open. You can see it. You can see over the whole city.
Yeah,
that one?
yeah. A curved, beautiful. Is it Georgian Edwardian? I'm not quite sure, but one of those, and it was just the hottest night of our lives. And we went along there, and we met them, and we sang, and it was actually quite an experience. The people that you think are the absolute top end of this career, and you're actually there with them, and it was just I loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are the photographs of you drinking afterwards? That's what I want. You know my email address.
Harry, certain things when you drink, you just kind of leave that alone.
Oh yeah.
And the Queen? What did you think for the Queen? And when, how, and what details?
Do you know that was the most stressful time of my entire life, I think, when it came to the Queen, because I was doing Phantom, and we were doing it in Liverpool, and we knew she was coming at the end of August, and at the end of July, I started to get tracheitis, and I had this barking cough,
Oh.
And I thought, oh God, I'll be all right. I thought it was hay fever. I didn't really know what it was. I'd never had tracheitis before. Honestly, and it was getting worse and worse. Have you ever had tracheitis before?
Many
Oh
times.
my God. I've never had, I've touched wood, I've never had it since.
Oof.
But this,
That's what
so,
there we go.
oh, yeah. Oh. I'm glad you're not superstitious, girls. And we decided I decided to carry on with the show. And I said at certain points to the sound guy, I'm going to be coughing really badly at the end of phrases. Can you just turn me down so I can just cough, cough, cough? And he did, and he was great. And I managed to do about a week, no, about 3/4 of the week. So I still had about 3.5 weeks, 3.25 weeks left. And then I went to see a specialist. And you know, when you go to see a specialist, you have to go and see a specialist who is for voices and singers. Right. You can go and see an ENT specialist and they go, oh, yeah, you're fine. But actually seeing the chords. And I'd been coughing for about a week and a half, and I could tell something was happening. The falsetto was beginning to go. Everything was kind of not working as it should. It's becoming harder and harder. And we opened up in Liverpool, and I decided I'm going to take some time off. So I took the first week off, and it wasn't getting any better. And I took the second week off. And then the director phoned me up and said, Scott, the Queen is here in 5 days. We need to know what's happening. And I thought, oh no, because I was doing falsetto. Was like, you just know the feeling, and you go, it's not working, and it hasn't worked, and it hasn't worked for 2 weeks. But as the director had phoned me, and I was just kind of trying it gently, and I thought, no, it is coming back. I said, I need to know by Wednesday whether you're going to be here on the Saturday. I went, oh God, okay. So the Wednesday finally came, the telephone call came through, and it was feeling a tad better. I'd say probably about 45% of what my voice is. And I thought, well, do you know what? Let's just say yes.
Oh, dear.
I know. And I knew, and each day that went by, it was probably 46% better. I mean, you know, it's like increments of like that much. And it came to Saturday. And said, you don't need to do the matinee, come in to do the evening show when the Queen's there. I went, okay, let's do it. So we had all the hierarchy. We had Cameron McIntosh, we had Andrew Lloyd Webber, we had everybody in. And I drove, we lived slightly outside of Liverpool, a place called Chester, beautiful place. And I drove in, it's probably about 25 miles, and I drove in, I'm going, it's all right, fine. I won't really warm up until I get to the theatre. And I get to the theatre, and I warmed up, and I went, oh, still not right. It's still not right. And I did the first entrance of the Phantom, and it's quite a big, and I think I used my whole voice just for that first bar. From then on, it was just downhill. And I could feel it just disappearing. As every note was sung, I could feel it disappearing. And it was coming to the end, and I literally sang it like a rock singer. There was no control. There was no beauty. Wah! Wah! It was terrible.
Oh, no.
And that was the most fearful performance of my entire life, in front of everyone who was anything in musical theatre. Oh, no. But I got through it by this clinging on to whatever technique you had. So you just had to change it to. You had to find a way of getting through it, because, you know, if you haven't got a way of getting through it, you rely on your technique, and you just think, I've got to find another way. How am I going to do this?
Drugs.
And then everything was just open and just raw.
Drugs.
Yeah.
But what's the difference now? Do you sing opera mostly in English when you do sing it? Or
well, do I? Yes, because I probably the most I probably work with is ENO, because I've got I had three. Well, I've still got 3 kids, and I didn't really want to go into the traveling around and being away for months.
Right.
I'd find that really hard. I mean, I don't know how you girls deal with it, to be quite honest. I just think it's.
My husband travels with me.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
Ah,
I'm lucky. And Carrie's
yeah,
husband, when she's been
yeah,
on the road before all this craziness that we're going through, he would come and visit Carrie too, and oftentimes
yeah.
spend
Yeah,
quality.
Your squeeze.
my main squeeze. Yeah, he traveled with me for a long time until he got this newer job, and so now he just like, comes and visits. We made it work
Yeah,
anyway. It didn't matter.
yeah. Well, I remember seeing Chris at ENO. He was there all
Yeah,
the time. I thought that's what a great if you can do that, fantastic.
yeah, it worked.
Absolutely, yeah, it works a treat. But
Hmm.
you know, when Lucy and the kids were here, it's if somebody says to me, Scott, can you go over to blah 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 for 2.5 months? I go, ooh,
No.
ooh.
It's tough.
Yeah, I'd find it.
You know, Carrie and I, we don't have children, and
Yeah.
it's a conscious choice, I think, on both of our parts to not have kids. But you
Yeah.
know, you having kids, I get that. So singing in English, do you find it
Yeah.
harder than singing in Italian, or easier, or
I,
it's your
I actually prefer I actually prefer singing Italian, to be quite honest. It just seems to flow easier. You know, when you do English National Opera and you're singing everything in English, because I've done quite a few operas in there, and it's like, oh my god, it's quite it's quite.
Yeah.
I find it hard to deal with.
Totally.
How do you find it? You prefer singing in foreign languages than English? I mean, I prefer to do it in English, in the original language, whatever
Yeah.
it is. If
I
I do
find
Benjamin Britt, sorry.
I
Right.
find English very percussive, and I find it very,
Mm.
very guttural. And I have tongue
Yeah,
tension
yeah,
has always not been my friend, so I always
yeah,
find that singing in English, like German, I pull my tongue back a lot, and
yeah.
consciously always, and I do diphthongs and triphthongs and rawr and
See, I think you know, because I've worked mainly in the West End, that you know, and I've been blessed enough to give me time to go out. Cameron McIntosh has been very, very good to go. I've been offered this. Can you do? Can I do it? They go, yeah, off you go, and he gives me a certain amount of time off.
It's awesome.
And it's always been, you know, all the musicals I've done are in English, so it's now become, well, part of my life. And years have gone by now where, you know, where Italian is hard work. I found my way of getting through singing in English all the time. So I've managed to find an easier way of doing it. Whereas I find I don't know, I think it's probably fear as well. If somebody said, Scott, can you come and do this? And in Italian, I go, okay, yes. And I know it will take twice as long to learn.
Right.
And you know, yeah, you know,
yeah.
everything, you know, it's a different animal. Opera is completely different to musical theatre, which I've kind of got into the musical theatre way now, which is yeah.
If you, in looking back, if you could have picked another Broadway role, would it still have been the Phantom, or would it have been another one?
I think it's iconic.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best. But it's got everything, hasn't it? It's got the emotion. It's got raw emotion. It's got a nice high notes, and it's got you know, the acting. I like the acting side of it as well. The best part of it, because
And the
it's just
production, it's so beautiful.
well,
You're doing the big chandelier that comes crashing into the theater. Is that the one?
yeah. And the thing is about the star is the show. The star is the show, and we just add the glitter to it.
Yeah.
You know.
I think you're the star of the show, personally.
Well, I mean, listen, I've sat in that theater and watched your Phantom, and you had me in tears. You are truly like the consummate singer, actor, performer, and I'm just so privileged that I met you and that we had that time together. It was brilliant.
I saw you do it in London too, and I think you are spectacular. You are the best, best Phantom I've seen. I've seen quite a few of them.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? It's lovely, because you know, when you know, when you go into the opera world again, and you kind of think, what's it going to be like? You know, because musical theatre people are kind of just crazy, you know, all the time, and loud. and then I went in to do ENO quite a few times, and it was a complete, as I said, a completely different kind of people. But then when I met Kerry for the first time doing Tosca, I thought, what a great girl. And we had a lovely cast.
And she's
and I can sing the backside of it as well, you know. So it was seriously,
she was really great in
yeah.
that Tosca.
You had a good time.
Oh,
I saw
yeah.
that. I was there in London and I saw Carrie do that, and I
Oh,
thought
You saw us both.
spectacular.
It was an absolute treat,
It was fun.
and to be such a lovely person as well. It was like,
Aw.
oh,
She's
yeah.
so crazy.
But we gotta let you go.
Yes. Can we ask you a couple rapid fire questions before you go?
Yeah. Do that.
Are you up for it?
Yeah. What is something you do that embarrasses your kids?
Ooh.
Sing.
My dad's the Phantom of the Opera.
Okay,
I'll just. All right, right.
No. More. Go. Do.
What else? What else? When I try and beat them at running and sports and things like that, because they're now 20, 18, and 16, and they kick my ass.
And they're like, Dad. So what's the strangest thing a fan has ever asked you?
The strangest thing. Oh my God. My strangest thing. Oh. I was given, well, it wasn't asked, but I was
Well, okay,
given.
strangest thing somebody ever gave you. How about that?
Oh, all right. Give me a frog in a box.
A real live frog?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's a line in Phantom, and I basically say a toad. A toad, madame. Perhaps it is you who are the toad. And the toad was in the box. It was released. It was released into the woods.
It, okay. Don't.
Okay. What is I'm sure you have many of these. And I just thought of this was not on the list, but best wardrobe malfunction doing Phantom.
Oh my God. Best wardrobe malfunction. Do you know, I'm very particular. I make sure that everything, do you know, when you're doing the Phantom, you have to take the cape off. It's the first kind of entrance. He comes down in the boat. He's saying to Christine, sing for me, sing. And what I used to like to do is trying to take the cape off with a woof, so it would kind of go, you know, like a kind of a circular motion. But
Like the
and then I'd
do with the bullets.
Yeah, but then I could never get the. Sometimes I couldn't. If I hadn't checked the clip, I'd panic and I'd start. Even though it was fine, and I'd start panicking. Anyway, this one time I didn't check, and I'm going, oh my God, I haven't checked the clip. And so my hand was going around behind my back, going, where's the clip? Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Couldn't find it. You've got cues to hit. Took it off. Basically, wrapped it around my head. So so that, and then you're trying to pull it off, and then your mask comes off, and your wig's all sticking up like that.
Oh no! You're like, can I have a break here? Can we pause? Pause for refreshment.
It's all ruined.
So, what's your most useless talent?
My most useless. God, why didn't you warn me about these cracker? Most useless. My most useless. Well, I tell you what. All right, it's not been useless, but it has. It was. When I was young, when I was about 17 or 18, I got to a very high standard of rugby football, and I got to play for Scotland, and I was Scotland schoolboys, which is the one below the big major team, and it was a talent that in those days you couldn't earn any money. on a tour. Now you can earn money, but not like footballers over here. But it's still good money, and that was probably my most useless talent, because I could never really progress with it. And it was between three things I wanted to do when I was about 17 or 18 years of age. So that was one, and I thought that's out the window because there's no money in it. So that was it.
Cool.
That was my useless one, which was.
Okay, favorite cuss word in any language?
I don't know
Can
her.
You can say it. Yes, you have to say it.
Cuss word. What do
cuss
you mean by cuss word?
You know, like MF or
Swear word.
Shit. Swear word. Thank you, Sandra.
I've got to say it.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's my favorite. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I've heard you say that on stage. I've heard that. Wait, yes, you did. I've heard you say it underneath your breath many times.
Does that count if you do it underneath your breath?
Yes.
For fuck's sake. Okay, last question. We'll let you go.
Yeah.
Okay, if heaven exists, what would you want to hear God say as you walk through the pearly gates?
Thank you, Scott. You've learned your lessons.
Oh,
I think, yeah.
We
And
love
hopefully, and hopefully, I am learning my lessons as life goes on, because life is one big damned lesson, and it's getting used to them.
Yes.
It's taken me a long time, long time.
No, but you brought so many people so much joy and so much pleasure with your art and with your singing.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Listen, girls, it's been an absolute pleasure, an absolute treat. Thank you very much.
Thank
I'm
you.
a screaming diva.
Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Yes.
Listen, it's my pleasure, and I loved every second of it. Thank you very much, girls.
Thank you. Love you.
Take care. Keep safe.
Care.
Keep singing. Keep singing. Keep going, girls.
You too.
Bye-bye. Lovely to see you, girls. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Lots of love. Bye.